Okay, cool. That's going to be a real weird noise to start the stream with, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. I think we have power. Yep. I mean, everything's gray, but it's something. Phone, please. Ugh. There we go. Let's see. Double check, make sure everything is up and running on YouTube, which I will eventually get to hitting the button on, even though it's fighting me for no reason. That's ad. Why did that sound like Andrew Schultz's intro music for this pizza ad? Excuse me. Oh, come on. Crazy. Okay, we're up and running. Okay. I'm going to make this a bit smaller so that those of you on Shorts feed can see it a little easier. But YouTube is in fact working. Give me 1 sec and I will boot up Twitch. And then we should be good to go. Starting up Twitch. Make sure that's all good to go. So far, so good, though. Ow! I love the death that I'm having. The mini death. Don't know why. We are good to go. Switch this back over to chat only. Oh, okay, don't fall, please. I don't have the energy to deal with that, too. Today has been a day, y'all. I have been on the phone all day long, so my voice might be a little raspy. I've been talking literally nonstop all day. Thankfully, with DM Roundtable, I've got friends who can, fill in the gaps. My voice just dies on me. But that's just the way it is sometimes. You ever have like one of them days where you legitimately wake up? You're like, aha! Your eyes open and you go, today's gonna suck. Like you just know. You just know. That's kind of what today is for me. I just knew. I just knew the moment I opened my eyes this morning that today was gonna be rough. All things considered. I just knew. And that's the way it was. I just knew. I just knew in my heart of hearts that today was gonna be rough. My Valentine's Day weekend excitement was that my garage door broke. One of the springs snapped. So we're trying to fix that. So I was on the phone, and then one of my friends had a meltdown and wanted to fill me in on it. So I was on the phone with her for quite a while. And then my brother called me about the garage door. And then I was like, yo, there's so much stuff happening. And then as he was calling me, my dad was like, hey, can you buy me plane tickets? And I was like, what? Right now? And he was like, whenever. And I was like, okay, sure. But like nobody in my family gives you good information. He was like, I want to be there 2 to 3 days before the thing happens. And if you could pick these airports for me to leave from. Didn't say where he wants to end up though. That'll be a problem later. Future me will have to deal with that. We don't have to worry about that. In D&D stuff, I'm going to end up putting a bunch more brews up and probably some tetracube things. I'm gonna make some stat box, might share them with the community. But I'm going to do my best to. My brain is shot. For those of you that missed last week's Patreon post, it was a Members of the Pack release. We released stuff. Me, DM Shin, and Clubs all put out stuff that we had worked on for the Show and Tell number 4 episode. So I put out my Terramancer. DM Shin put out his character sheet for Seedlings, and Clubs put out a defense, attacks, and shielding cheat sheet for OSR games. So that went out. But if you have access to, or you've looked up my home brewery before, you can get my Terramancer subclass, because you can't, like, you don't hide stuff. Like, you don't. It's not like locked behind a paywall or anything. So anyone can get in there. I'm gonna end up putting more stuff on my home brewery in the future. I would like to write up. There's a couple adventures I want to write up, or I guess encounters, maybe not a full adventure. But I want to make some TetraCube sheets and other things like that, because I have to build TetraCube things for decks anyway. Might as well just do it all at once, make my life easy. Cool part is, once I do it for one of them, since they're both ice elementals, I can just reuse the stat block and then edit it. That'll be pretty simple. I love TetraCube. TetraCube was in the first Tools episode, so if you missed out on that, it helps you make stat blocks that look like they're official. They're gonna look like 2014 stat blocks, and they might not quite end up looking like 2024 stat blocks, but whatever. Who cares? That's fine. Maybe I'm also getting sick, which I'm not very happy about, to say the least. But we're going to do our best. Tonight's episode is a very, I want to say AWAS coded, but AWAS will be very happy with what's going down tonight. Oh man, I am like out of it. I'm so sorry. It's one of those nights where you finish dinner and you just immediately go to sleep afterwards. Like the itis just takes you, just straight up. And I woke up like I had just popped out of Jumanji. I was like, what year is it? And as I started to come to, I was like, oh no, did I sleep through the stream? But no, it was a very short nap. It just felt like it was a million hours long. And that's awful. In the 5 minutes previous to starting the stream tonight, I rolled my knee and also pulled a muscle in my neck. So I'm doing swimmingly today. I wish I was one of these races so I could just have some stronger muscles. Today's episode is going to be races, lineages, ancestries, whatever you want to call them. And they're all vaguely animal, people themed, anthropomorphic animals. The first two are more, let's say, open-ended than the last one. But I was trying to hold that in, and I was like, no, I'm just going to release it. Sorry, I'm gross. That's who I am as a person. There's so much. And I was like, oh my god. Hey, it was. I cannot. My insides are shot right now. This is bad. I'm going to be burping all night long. I guarantee it. AWAS, you're going to be, hopefully you're going to be so excited tonight about what's going down. Ooh. Hopefully, you're going to be enjoying this one. I honestly forgot what next week's stream was supposed to be. I'm hoping I can get something filmed and edited for next week before next week actually starts. I am. Ugh. I spent like all day today on the phone. You know when you just wake up, you know from the moment you open your eyes that today is going to be a day. Today has been a day. And my family's already like, oh, so we'll just spend the whole rest of the week with you. I'm like, can you just live your own lives for like one day? Please? Please? But we're going to look up some fun stuff today. Hopefully. I do like customizable races, like where like shifter, kind of like picking your shifter subclass sort of changes your stats, but also being able to build a character where like there's a pool of things you can choose from. I like that, but I don't. There are some. There are we'll say I can't trust. I would be able to trust most of my players to actually do that correctly. I have to sit on top of them and be like, this is what you gotta pick, this is what you gotta do. Not telling them exactly what to do, just like, this is what you have to do. Please do the thing. 60 FPS. Ooh! Oh, no, never mind. You're watching it on Twitch. I was going to say, YouTube is running both the widescreen form, well, both landscape and portrait mode. That's a new feature that they made up. I don't know why it's not directly in the center, though. It's very weird that it's not directly in the center. It's close enough. If I make it a little bit smaller, is that helpful? I don't know. I can't really aim the shorts feed version, so I apologize. I think that just means the quality of the stream is so nice. So apparently, if you need to, this is just, I guess, weird house knowledge, but apparently, in order to gauge the weight of a garage door, the general method is to take the tension off the springs and lift the garage door up a little bit and then put like a household weight scale underneath it. And I'm like, what? Huh? This has to be like, that sounds so silly. Oh, you're very welcome. I would be sending you the whole book, but now I don't know if it's from the Kickstarter specifically or however Grimjack got his copy of Nat One's Tome of Mystical Tattoos 1 and 2. His name, like his legal name, is on the bottom of every page, and I'm like, that's a little excessive. So I'm like, I don't want to send the book to other people since it's got his name, and he's all like, they can't know who I am. Everyone in like a 2-county radius knows who you are, bro. You're so loud. It is impossible for anyone not to realize it's you. Like, he could never do the Superman, the Clark Kent sunglasses thing. He could never do it. Why don't they just put it on the door, man? Like, if you put that on the door itself, it would be so helpful for future people when the spring breaks. But no. But no. But also, in case anyone's wondering, apparently, you can just order new springs on Amazon. You just have to know how heavy your door is. I'm like, what? What? Nobody ever wants to make things easy. That's the real problem here. Let's be honest. That's the real problem. I also feel like I should be looking at more of Pointy Hat stuff, like in general. I love writing "Let's be honest," but I always spell it. Nope. What? Why is there two? There we go. There shouldn't have been another S. He's pretty good. I like his take on things. I mean, I also like Dungeon Dad, but I at least like if I see a Dungeon Dad video pop up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. Pointy Hat, I'm only like recently getting into. Oh. I think both DM Shin and DM Lacara should be showing up tonight, I think. I don't know about anybody else, but I think both of them are showing up for real. For real, for real. Ooh. Oh. Sometimes I'm watching a real good video, and you're right, like, I can't... Like, if your heart's not in it, like, so you're like, nah, I'll be back. I feel you. Sometimes I like to watch videos that also put me to sleep. That can also be nice. Like just have a video on in the background where someone's voice is really soothing. You're just like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. He really likes liches. Ooh. We went over, I think it was the last races, ancestries, lineages, whatever you want to call it. The Fallen, and I think the other one's called the Revenant. I could be wrong though. I love the idea. Maybe you have, it doesn't necessarily have to be a one shot, but you start a campaign as a bunch of heroes that failed, and like this is their second go around, but they're all like Sir Daniel Fortescue. They're all dead already. They already failed. You know what I mean? I think that would be a really fun campaign. Like, we failed once. Do we even bother trying again? I think they're revenants. I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe Awakened Undead. It could be Awakened Undead. I would love a an undead monk that like his weapons are he'll rip off his other arm and like use it as a nunchuck. I think that would be hilarious. I would enjoy that very much. That is my specific brand of humor. Or maybe he rips off other people's limbs and uses them as nunchucks. And obviously he has to go, what? It's fantastic. I love that. I haven't heard from Speedy today now that I think about it. I hope he's doing okay. I haven't heard from Speedy in a while. Come to think of it. I think I heard from him on Valentine's Day. I'm not 100% sure. I like that. Undead are cool. I just like maybe it was I think it was the Awakened Undead. Maybe they were through. No, I think it was just Fallen and Awakened Undead because the Awakened Undead had like a full uh, intro thing. Because you could take parts of other people's bodies and add them to your own, or you could just choose to animate like a skeleton of a dog or something, and how that would change the game. I think about that a lot, like playing a character that doesn't have hands, how you're so very limited, and they're like, well, you won't be able to hold weapons and stuff, and I was like, what? Sif holds a big old broadsword in his mouth. Like, I'd let you. I'd let you have a weapon if you were like a dog or something with a big old mouth. Like, you can still hold the sword. What about Pinto Bean? Pinto Bean's famous. Pinto Bean knows how to sword fight. Alright. Gonna give them until 15, so 2 more minutes, and then I'll just start without them. I'll miss them, but gotta get the ball rolling. Isn't there a new game coming out called like Make Sisyphus Happy or something, where you're just a dung beetle? Okay, I mean, I guess you could do it that way. I guess. It's not what I was thinking, but I guess you could do it. What if you were like a frog-hemoth or something, and the sword was you were holding the sword via your tongue, so you could stretch it out. Oh man, like a frog-hemoth type creature, but with a rapier. Oh, that would be fantastic. Because you think you're gonna get leapt, but then when it gets real close, you're like, oh no, there's a pokey stick on the end of there. Oh no. Bleep. Bleep. All right. I guess I'm starting without him. Okay. Animal folk. I just wrote AF. Yes, Greninja. Correct. A Pokemon that I actually recognize too. Cannot play him for shit in Smash Brothers though. Here we go. Our first species of the night. We're on like. Let me lower the volume a little bit. Excuse me. We are on. Oh my God! Excuse me. I do need to pop the board over here. If you are on YouTube, you can drop the description of this very video to get a link for the animal folk, a pointy hat species. There is also a video that accompanies the animal folk because pretty much everything Pointy Hat releases, there's a video for. So there is a video for this. I do not have the link in there. But if you're on Twitch, I'm going to share the link with you and you can follow along. So I'm going to keep this up for the next 30 minutes or so. And then, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if we're going to do this for more than 30 minutes, but we'll see. We'll see. So this is playtest content. This was the publicly released version. I believe Pointy Hat does sort of the same thing Dungeon Dad does, where if you're a paid member or a patron on Patreon, that kind of thing, you get access to better versions or like more in-depth, more edited versions than are released here. I just want to say one thing. The stuff that Pointy Hat and Dungeon Dad release when it's just like a straight up text document. Okay, it's not like a TXT file, but like a Google Doc document. Like this gives me so much. What the AI just opened up on my phone for no reason. I did not say anything related to that. I didn't even know I had AI enabled. Get out of here, bro. Nobody was asking for your help. back on topic. The way that they release just straight up text documents, word processing documents, gives me such hope for the future because, like, I'm gonna be honest, the home brewery, you've heard us all make fun of the home brewery. Like, the home brewery is hard. Like, it is very difficult to get to do what you want because a lot of the stuff that it says on the intro page of how to make it work doesn't actually work. So it can be problematic. But just putting stuff out in a Google and like just a straight Google Doc, like that gives us hope for the future. It doesn't have to be cool if it makes sense. If it makes sense and it's good, that's good enough. So, the animal folk, a pointy head species. I'm gonna read the shtick. Normally we like split this between ourselves, but hey, whatever. We think of guardian angels as the purview of people, but nothing could be further from the truth. Beasts have their own celestial defenders as well, and the lords of animals are perhaps even more zealous in their protection than those that watch over people. So zealous are they in their guardianship that they are not above requesting help to keep their charges safe. But the will of man is fickle and changing, and so the lords of beasts created people of their own to assist them in their stewardship. That is how the animal folk were born. Okay. The animal folk, Pointy Hat made this species of just like you can be any kind of animal folk here. So they're not these particular peoples. They're not like the Cardinals, which are generally speaking the big animal people, not including Tabaxi, but they're the celestials, the celestial animal people in the realms, where there's a bunch of like there's horse people, those are equinols. There's lions, those are leonils, and there's wolves, lupinols, and then there's rats. I don't remember the name for rats and what have you, but like those are your typical celestial animal folk. So these would be like not necessarily on the same tier if you're using regular lore, but same kind, just like cousins to them kind of deal. The lords realized that it was often people, not nature, that endangered the existence of those they were sworn to protect, and so they made people of their own to advocate for their brethren and to rise up to defend them. The animal folk are people like any other. They create societies, enclaves, and civilizations, but ones tailored to the needs of folk and beast alike. They are free to lead their lives however they desire, except for the ingrained duty to protect their beastly brethren. This impulse supersedes every other want or need. Able to shapeshift and blend into both worlds of man and beast, the animal folk are the eyes and ears, but also the hand of the animal lords in the mortal planes. Ooh, shapeshifting. Just like no two animal lords are the same, no two animal folk are alike, although patterns do emerge. Beekin and Antskin build impossibly large structures, raising their children communally in a bustling hive that rivals the grandest cities of man. The ever-moving, migratory Whalekin are often storytellers, sharing what they learn of their travels through song. And the gentle and strong Orikin often find themselves as wealthy merchants and traders, carrying their stores upon their backs. As busy as any member of the animal folk might be with their own goals and dreams, they'll never be too busy to turn a helping hand to their bestial siblings. This is the covenant between them and their lords. So you've already got built-in lore for this race. Like wherever they are, if there's animals in trouble, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be like Chris's dad, and everybody hates Chris. I'm gonna be there. You in the shower, I'm gonna be there. You watching TV, I'm gonna be there. So, animal folk traits. Your creature type is humanoid. Your size is medium. You're 5 to 7 feet tall or small, 2 to 3 feet tall, and you choose this when you select this species. So you can be medium or small. Ooh. Oh, you want to be a rock? That's cool. Did you know rocks have their own language? I had my ranger in DM Lacara's campaign learn rock. I was supposed to learn an exotic language for some feat that I took, and I was like, I want to learn rock. Because we have Dwayne the Rock Johnson in that campaign. Animalkin, as an anthropomorphic animal, you share the inherent characteristics of the animal whose kin you are. You have 6 beast points to spend on your beast traits. The cost of each trait is shown on the beast traits table. So, cool thing about this particular race is that you get 6 points, and you can do with them whatever you want, okay? Which is neat. So you can take 6 of these things. There's Animal Strike. When you make an unarmed strike, you deal piercing or slashing, chosen when you select the species. Damage equal to 1d6 plus your strength mod instead of the normal damage of an unarmed strike. That costs 2 beast points. Amphibious. You can breathe air and water. 1 point. Blind Sight. You have blind sight within a range of 60 feet. 3 points. Burrow. You have a burrow speed equal to half of your speed. 2 points. Camouflage. After remaining completely motionless for at least 1 turn, you gain advantage on your next dexterity stealth check. 2 points. Climb. You have a climb speed equal to your speed. 2 points. Dark Vision. You have dark vision with a range of 60 feet. I love that dark vision is only worth 1 point because everybody has goddamn dark vision. Flight. You have a fly speed equal to your speed. 4 points. Glide. When you fall at least 10 feet above the ground, you can use your reaction to glide horizontally a number of feet equal to your speed, and you take 0 damage from the fall. You determine the direction of the glide. 3 points. So you can't take flight and glide. You won't have enough points. Keen Hearing. You have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing is 2 points. Keen Sight. You have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. 3 points. Interesting that the sight one is the most expensive. I guess that makes the most sense. Coconut crab. Oh. Keen Smell. You have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell. 1 point. My Loxodon. The Loxodon has Keen Smell because it's an elephant. And you'd be surprised how often I get to snort the air. Natural Armor, you have a base AC of 17. Your dex modifier doesn't affect this number. You can't wear light, medium, or heavy armor, but you can wear a shield as you can wield a shield as normal. That's 3 points. Interesting that you can't wear armor. Like at all. Nimble, you have a speed of 40 feet. That's worth 3 points. That's pretty good. Powerful Build, you count as 1 size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. 2 points. Mimicry, you can mimic the sounds of other creatures, including speech. A creature that hears the mimicry must succeed on a wisdom insight check to determine the effect is faked. And the DC is 8 plus your charisma mod and your proficiency bonus. I guess charisma makes sense. I might let you select con depending on who you are. And swim, you have a swim speed equals to your speed. 2 points. Once you've chosen your beast traits, you can choose the animal that best fits the specific combination. So, interestingly enough, the way Pointy Hat thinks you're going to pick out your character is you want to pick your traits and then pick your animal. But I'm going to say that the vast majority of people that you're going to play with who are like, I want to be an animal folk, are going to have the animal picked out before they make the rest of their character. I feel like a lot of people are going to pick animal before traits. Like, they're not going to look at the traits and be like, oh, I can build this animal. I think they're going to pick the animal and be like, I can make this build. Right? Like, I don't think you're gonna look at you're gonna min-max the table and then pick an animal. I think you're gonna pick an animal and then choose the relevant traits. But if you're a member of the whale folk, you can choose the beast traits: amphibious, dark vision, swim, and powerful build to represent your chosen animal. Choosing keen smell, keen hearing, and nimble could mean you take the form of a fox folk. Or you can choose burrow, dark vision, keen smell, and powerful build if you wish to be an antkin. Tip. In a fantasy world, mundane animals can be as different from ours as you and your GM want them to be. Maybe in this world there's a species of octopus that can walk on land with as much dexterity as it can swim in the water, and can not only mimic the textures and colors that surround it, but also sounds it hears, leading you to pick amphibious, camouflage, mimicry, and swim as your beast traits. Talk to your GM and come up with interesting options to accommodate your idea of the beast you embody that works for everyone at the table. Oh no. Awaz, what is your... Why am I terrified about this flashback? I'm so scared. I'm so scared, Awaz. Why am I so scared? Why are you making me so scared? Flashback to what? To what it was? Oh my god, I love the tick. What a great. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Um, but I do like the idea that you could just be animal. Listen, listen. I'm not here to say. Okay, two things. I want to say that I know a lot of people out there are like, man, I don't need no animal folk in here, blah, 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 blah. But animal folk, honestly, are some of the easiest creatures to explain away in most planes, most anything. Like, hey, they come from the Feywild. That's it. Like, they're animal folk are super easy to explain. Now, people might be freaked out seeing animal people, sure. But a lot of people are like, oh no, it doesn't make sense in the world. It's so easy, bro. They come from the Feywild. Boom, you're done. Or they came from space, which sounds stupid, but we have GIF. So, like, hey, whatever. Loxodon are supposed to be descendants of Loxo, which are like in space. They just crash landed here. Like this, they're from space. I mean, technically speaking, you could probably explain anything as it came from the Feywild or it came from space in most settings, and it would be totally fine. But like, I hate when people are like, bruh, I'm not gonna say that that's a thing you could do because it doesn't make sense in the world. Like, if you were connected to the Feywild, okay, you can for sure just say animal folk came from the Feywild. It doesn't even have to specifically be these animal folk. Just animal folk. They came from the Feywild. Boom, you're done. But you do have one more trait. You've got Shapeshifter. Just like the lords that created you, you too can take an action shift between. Those are weird words to choose, but should be as an action you can shift between. Okay, that's fine. Your regular anthropomorphic form to one of two other forms. Animal form. You shapeshift into the form of the beast you're connected to. Your creature type is now beast, and your size is either small, medium, or large, depending on the animal chosen. While in this form, you're indistinguishable from a normal beast, even through magical means, and you can communicate with similar beasts as if you shared a language. But you are unable to use tools, weapons, or armor designed for humanoids. Send it to me. Okay. Having the ability to essentially wild shape whenever you want, and you can't be detected as something like as not that species because technically you are also that species. That's crazy. You don't get the extra health though that you would from wild shape, so bear that in mind. But you can just become large whenever you want. That's kind of cool. I would also give them like if you're going to do this and you can switch to your animal form, it doesn't say tiny, I just realized. So like if you turn into a regular ass bird, you're going to be bigger than the average bird because you're small instead of tiny. But the fact that you can turn into your animal form, I would also do you keep your characters to 6? I was thinking for large, if you switch into that animal, yeah, I guess. Uh, I would give you the stats for that animal instead of you. Because if you're switching into the animal but you're keeping the same stats that you do normally, even though no one could tell magically that you were shapeshifted, they're gonna know because your stats are probably gonna be better than whatever the animal is. You know what I mean? The whale got blowhole! Oh my god. Yes. I like that. That's a big boy. I don't know what happened to everyone. I see Shin signing in and off. of Discord, so I'm assuming he must still be on his way home. But you can also do a humanoid form. Your form resembles that of a human, a dwarf, an elf, a halfling, or a gnome, chosen when you select this species. Your size is either small or medium, depending on the species you resemble. While in this form, you're indistinguishable from the species you resemble, either through magical means. You can use tools, weapons, and armor designed for humanoids, but you enjoy none of the benefits you gain from your animal kin trait. Oh, none of your game statistics change regardless of your form. Your equipment merges with your animal form or is worn by your humanoid form. You stay in that form for 1 hour or until you have the incapacitated condition or die. So not when you're knocked out, but when you're incapacitated. You can also leave the form early as a bonus action. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Interesting. So you're in like the half form by default. But you can switch into your animal form or your humanoid form, and you can maintain that for just an hour. It's not like you can do it forever. You can only do that once a day, basically. So many of you know already, I'm going through the Tome of Mystical Tattoos. I did a big long video on the first Tome of Mystical Tattoos. I'm currently going through the second one. And one thing that Nat Ones does that really grinds my gears is there's like weird math on some of the tattoos. Like it'll be like, oh, your ability does 6 times the amount of charges that you gain, and you gain charges based on how many creatures of this size are in your area. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? I feel like I'm playing Pathfinder. Like, what? Why is there so much extra math? Or it'll say something like, over the next 2 hours, every 10 minutes you get an improvement to your speed. And I'd be like, why would you phrase it like that? Or you can do this ability once every 8 hours. I'm like, what? Bruh. Like, we want to keep the games running as smoothly as possible. Like as a DM, referee, GM, whatever you want. You want to keep the game running as smoothly as possible. When you add in weird complications like that, like there's a reason why. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I said you can do this after you've done a long rest, which basically means once a day. Like, keep the times normal. Keep them simple. Long rest or short rest. That's it. It's easy peasy. You don't have to do every 8 hours, every 6 hours, every 4 hours. No one's keeping track of that. Hi!
Hello. Oh, it's been a while.
I know. I was like, where is everybody?
Where's Shin?
I don't know. I keep seeing him sign in and out, so I'm assuming he's on his way home.
Oh.
I think. Oh.
Oh. It's been a
How are
while.
you?
What are we doing tonight? I am present, but barely alive.
I feel you. I feel you so hard.
This winter, dude.
It's awful. It's sapping us. It's just sapping our strength.
Yeah.
I
I have my own theories.
Oh? Oh, no, share them.
I think that we've got pollution at a sufficient level now that our bodies are literally not getting enough sunlight to function properly during the winter.
Oh. I don't
Because
like
our
that.
eyes can't tell the difference until like something around like 90% of the sunlight is occluded. But I bet our bodies can.
Interesting. I don't like that because I 100% believe you.
I mean, this is wild speculation field. Like, this is not, I am not trained in any of this. That is my personal feeling based on how I've been feeling, and also the fact that like the air quality this winter has been horrific. So what are we doing tonight?
We're talking races, lineages, species, whatever you guys want to call them.
Cool. Is there a link somewhere?
I didn't give you guys one. You're right. Hold on. So the first one, I just read all the way through it, but Perfect timing. You caught me on my rant at the end here. There's the blah, 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 blah. Pointy Hat's done animal folk just in general, and you get a beast trait chart, and you get 6 beast points, and like you pick what kind of abilities you want. And the way that he did it is he's assuming you're gonna pick traits first and then choose your animal. But me and AWAS are like, I'm pretty sure 99% of players are going into this with like, I know what animal I want to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think AWAS was like, hi furries, and I was like, right? I don't think people are building them that way. But you get to I like this idea, but I know that I can't, like, I couldn't trust most of my table to do this. Like, I'd have to stand on top of them and be like, no, you have to pick your 6 points. Why haven't you picked your 6 points yet? Please pick your 6 points.
Yep.
But for normal people, this would be fun.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like the Cardinals, which are like the regular celestial animal folk, because their whole thing is like, we're here to protect animals, but we're also animal folk, kinda. And we can shapeshift between like a regular humanoid and our animal form. So they're kind of like cousins to the Cardinals, I guess.
Cardinals?
They're the official. Okay, I feel like AWAS also knows this weird lore fact, but there was a Dungeons and Dragons themed TCG, I think, technically is what you would call it. But it was like a battle card game. And for lack of the only way what I assume happened is that the people, oh, thank you. The people who were working on the card game for, I don't know if they were at Hasbro yet, but when the card game came out, I assume it was a bunch of people who were furries. And they were like, yo, we need animal folk representation. So they made a whole bunch of celestial animals. And they
Made some celestial animals.
They were like, oh, they have a ranking system, so there's like equinals, and at the top is leonals because they're all lions, and then there's like
I'm so
lupinals.
tired of lions being at the top of.
I
They're
agree
not at the top
with
of
you.
every food chain, just the one in Africa.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. Was it MTG time? I just know they were part of a card game, and people resonated with them so much that they put them in regular Dungeons and Dragons lore. And their thing is that like each cast, which is based on a different animal, has like a different job in the multiverse. So like there's like all the rodent kin guys, like their job is to hunt people that have done wrong to animals and celestials, so they'll just like follow you. And as more and more bad, like you do more and more bad stuff, they start sending other like higher ranked Cardinals after you, and they'll never stop hunting you.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
So like these guys are kind of the same, because the Pointy Hat describes them as celestials, but they're just straight up humanoids as a creature type. So they're like, I guess, cousins, slightly lower than what a Cardinal would be, I guess.
You know what I want?
Tell me.
I'm gonna run this someday. I want an entire setting where everybody is a different bird species, like a different bird type. All of the races are just different kinds of birds, but it's specifically all of the birds with ridiculous like names. Like, have you seen some bird names?
Like Fuzzy Tit Warbler?
Yeah, that's not even that weird a one. That's what I want to do. I want everybody to have to pick from this weird list of bird names, and then we'll figure out like what the traits are from that.
I love this idea. I love this.
Last night I learned, this is what happens when you read children's magazines. Last night I learned that a woodpecker's tongue is so long it doesn't fit in its own mouth. The base of it is not connected to the back of its throat like a normal animal. Its
What?
tongue curls all the way around the back of its entire skull and connects in the front of its head next to its right nostril.
What? Okay, I didn't share it. I think I shared it in, where did I share it? I shared it in the Discord earlier, but somebody made a diagram of they captioned it 8 intelligence is indeed an advantage, and they showed a picture of a mind flare like shooting its like an X-ray picture of
Mm-hmm.
the mind flare shooting its tongue into someone's brain. They're like, normal brain takes up the whole cavity, gets speared, you're dead. Superior small brain with 8
Mm-hmm.
intelligence. Brain has room to dodge because it's so small.
How do you make a dex check for your brain? Uh,
I was like, that sounds like a concussion. I don't know, just sounds like a concussion to me. The noble caca. Yo, doesn't Ace Ventura have that? Or am I just thinking of Lake Titicaca because he loves to say Lake Titicaca? Probably. Probably. I miss Ace Ventura. Those are movies that could never get made today. 100% no. Uh, and then there's a thing in here where he's like, yo, in a fantasy world, maybe the mundane animals of your world are different than ours, so you can like add new features onto them so that your new animal folk has those features too. And I'm like, oh,
uh,
okay, that makes sense. And then I ranted about how I hate when people are like, oh, animal folk don't work in my world. They don't make any sense. And I'm like, if you're connected to the Feywild, animal folk are just the easiest anything to
yeah,
say exists. They came from the Feywild.
yeah.
Like, you don't have to do any work extra for animal folk. They came from the Feywild.
Yep. Anything weird can be tagged on the Feywild.
I was like, listen, we love to say there's hippos in space with blunderbusses. You could say they fell from space too, but I think Feywild is easier. Hippos with Napoleonic uniforms and blunderbusses. Sorry, I left out their uniform.
Oh,
But yeah, that's pointy hats, animal folk. I finished the whole
yeah.
thing. But that's okay, because we have more races. Okay, it was the next one is Werehuman Lineage. Um and the image that they use is Squirrel Girl. And I I understand why they would choose that, but she's just a mutant. Like
Why
just a
would
mutant.
anyone make a squirrel girl?
See, okay, lore-wise, Squirrel Girl is one of the most powerful heroes in the Marvel Universe because, as a joke, she takes down all the big bad guys all by herself and her army of squirrels because they underestimate the shit out of her. And so whenever someone's like, "You're the worst hero ever," she'll be like, "But I soloed Galactus. I soloed Thanos. I soloed Doctor Doom. Just me. I'm the only one." And then everyone will be like,
Yeah, I mean I can see the argument for that, but like who wants to play a humanoid squirrel?
"True, true." If you're on YouTube, you can drop the description of this very video and follow along with us. If you're on Twitch, I'm gonna pop you off. Oh yeah, original Squirrel Girl is scary. I don't. There were too many people that were really into clowns as well. Um, Also, like her power is she has a big tail, and she's really dexterous and she can control squirrels. But sometimes her knuckles pop out into claws, which is not a squirrel thing, but She has it.
No. Why add the knuckles? Why not just the fingers? If it was the fingers, it would make sense.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
His hands are harder to draw than fists.
Ooh, yes. Honestly, that's probably it. That is honestly probably it.
I was trying to draw hands this weekend, and I was like, no, nope.
Sometimes you just gotta be like, nah, I'm good.
I'm trying to stop using the stupid AI art generators for everything. But hands are not where I should have started.
True. Awaz brought up a point the other day. We were talking, and Awaz was like, have you seen first edition art? Anyone can draw whatever they want. And I was like, you know what? You're not wrong.
That's fair. Yeah. Early D&D art was atrocious.
1E Beholder? Let's go! I love me some 1E Beholder. Fantastic. I'm gonna double. So, if you pop up on the Reddit, there is a link to the home brewery. That's the one that I'm gonna run, because I think there were some edits. I don't think that he did change some things. That's it. That's all I wanted to make sure. So yeah, the home brewery version is the more updated version. Somebody was like, why did you pick Squirrel Girl as the choice here? Whatever, dude. Also, she's soloed Deadpool as well because his healing factor works in proportion to the damage he has taken. So he passed out from blood loss from getting scratched by a million squirrels because it was taking so long for him to heal. I enjoy that one. And every time they like get into an argument or something, or they're both there, she's like, and I'll do it again. Don't tempt me. Would you like to read about Werehuman lineage?
Sure.
Oh.
You carry a new curse.
I did realize, I forgot to say this about Pointy Hat's animal folk species. It doesn't have ability score increases. So, listen, whatever animal you are, make your own decisions. Whatever. But yes, go on. Sorry.
You carry a new curse. To walk the world as a creature so monstrous it changes the environment for all other creatures for its own comfort. A human.
Oof.
There's already 2 grammatical errors in this.
I know. When I read monstrous, I was like, it was late.
It's the "it's" with the apostrophe that bothers me more. Like, spelling is hard. I get that. It's is not. You are a Werehuman, a beast afflicted with the curse of lycanthropy that is forced to take on a human form. Shouldn't that mean that, like, perforce your, like, intelligence is your dump stat? Like, if you are an animal that now has human traits, are we supposed to believe that you have been gifted normal intelligence?
Yeah. This was my the animal folk can switch between its animal form and its humanoid form, and I was like, what did your stats change when you're in your like animal form? And at the bottom, Pointy Hat was like, nah, you just keep your stats across all your forms. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, what if you don't have the same body parts?
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you have a prehensile tail, I'm going to give you more dexterity.
Yeah.
Like,
I went on when you came in, I was ranting about nat ones because at the animal folk trait you can use it and it stays on for an hour, but nat ones loves to put so Tome Mystical Tattoos, loves to put weird time frames in there, like over the course of the next 2 hours, every 10 minutes your speed increases by 5 feet. I was like, no,
What?
nobody's keeping track of that.
No,
And
absolutely not.
one of the abilities is like, oh, every 8 hours you can do this again. And I'm like, just say short rest. Like, you don't have to make up these weird times. But one of the tattoos is a lion's tail, and it says it gives you, with the lion's tail tattoo, you summon a spectral lion's tail, and that helps you climb better. But it's athletics, not acrobatics. And I was like, what? And then the lore for it is like, oh, it's based on spider monkeys. And I was like, no, that's a lion's tail. That
Why
is
is it a lion's
definitely
tail?
for dexterity, not strength.
Also, why does a lion's tail help you climb?
I don't know. I was like, they jump.
Like,
They
cats
don't
can climb because they have claws.
True. There's a lot of weird stuff in there.
Alright. The change grants you an unnatural intelligence. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I should have just kept reading. An ability to interact with the humanoid world, but you are still possessed by your animalistic hunger and desires that fuel your actions. Okay. ASI, your wisdom increases by 2. Age, where humans reach adulthood at a varied rate based on the lifespan of their animal origin. Starting age can be as young as 3 years old, and they can live up to 60 years. Okay, do they mean that you start being a werehuman at 3 years old, or is 3 years old reaching adulthood? I'm kind of confused.
They do say you're a beast afflicted with a curse, so I get. So. Okay.
Also, how do you get this curse? Did a human bite you?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Huh? Because I feel like. I was gonna say I'm gonna be an awful person for saying this, but is it because like if you get killed and eaten before you're like if you get killed, they're probably eating you totally before you're like they're just eating babies, I guess.
Like, you get killed first. You get killed first. So I'm very confused about how you get this curse. Humans don't usually just grab a squirrel and go to town on it. I don't know where this person lives, but okay, creature type, you are a beast. Size, you are medium or small. You choose the size when you select this race. Speed, 30. Animal origin, you can revert back into your animal form. Choose one CR 1/4 beast to be your origin animal. I'm sorry, if I'm choosing this as a this is essentially your race, yes? I don't want to be something that's CR 1/4. I'll go be a druid.
Yeah. Oh, especially because of the next sentence. Ugh.
Once per short rest, you can wild shape as per the druid feature into your origin animal. There is no benefit to this over just being a druid.
Like
as you level up, you can be whatever you want.
So like I'll turn back into a squirrel and I'm gonna get what, like 4 HP?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah. No. I'm gonna make myself a villager. Like, seriously?
I'm gonna look up. No, I want. I'm gonna look up beasts of CR quarter to see what you can be, because I think a squirrel is 1/8. No, I don't want. How do I do? No, show the advanced filters. I just want beast. Just beast. Thank you. Blah 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 blah. Does it have a type? Monster subtype. Beast. Thank you. No. Oh no, that's their actual. Oh, you're annoying. Beast. Nope, not beast companion. You can't sort by creature type. That's dumb. Oh, that's dumb as hell. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm dumb. I just have to select the big thing at the top. Oh, oh, okay. There's more than I thought. You could be an axe beak. Honestly?
An axe beak is CR 1/4?
Apparently.
Wow. All right, that's decent. I mean, at least that's got an attack that's worth having.
You could be a constrictor snake.
But what's the average HP on these things?
Axe beak is 3d10 plus 3. That's not bad. Okay. If we're like what you said, are you bit by a human to get this curse? If there's a human going around biting axe beaks, I want to play in that world.
Yeah, I'm like, this is some really specific world lore. I feel like this is not a campaign I want to be in.
You could be a Dimetrodon. I want to be a dinosaur. Dinosaurs are cool. It could be elks, giant bat, giant badger, a panther. Okay, panther I can totally understand. But just be a druid. You can be all of these things at once.
Be a druid.
And
if you want to be only one, if you could totally flavor being like a specific druid that is like a wearer thing, or just that belongs to a circle that reveres some specific beast, and you can just be that beast always if you want. You know?
It's true. You can be a giant space hamster.
A giant space.
What Boo's species is supposed to be. If I had a player at the table say, I want to be a giant centipede, I'm going to be like, get out.
Yeah. Not in my campaign, you're not.
No, get out. Giant frog and giant lizard. Okay, I guess. You weirdos. Oxes and cows. I didn't realize
But
those were
also,
CR quarter. Elk. All right.
Just go be that kind of animal folk.
Yeah. All right.
Like, there are options for so many of these.
I like the idea that you're. This is, I guess, technically better than being an awakened animal. Technically. But, like, it's not good as a player character.
Yeah. Like, I could see a million NPCs of this. You know, your people wander into a town that's like entirely like it's normally just normal D&D species, and you wander into a town and you're like, why does everybody, we're in the middle of the woods, why does everyone look like a squirrel or you know, a bluebird or something? And it's because this area was like cursed by a crazy wizard or something, and everyone here is like a were creature.
I was going to say, what if you're an animal that normally lives a long time, like a tortoise or something, but they're not CR quarter? I see what you're doing here. I was like, because 60 years seems like a downgrade for them.
Yeah. It would be.
Interesting. We're going to stop shitting on your thing. Errant 91. Sorry. We'll continue. Don't worry.
You want to read some of it?
Nope, all you. I did the last one.
Okay. Let me see, what else we got? Animal linguist. You can tap into your animal nature to communicate to other beasts. While in your human form, you can cast Speak with Animals as a ritual. That's fun. And lots of people that would enjoy that.
Uh-huh.
The hunger. You are driven by a particular hunger while in your animal form that grants you power. Choose carnivore, herbivore, or omnivore to be the source of your hunger. Okay. Carnivore. Strength increases by 1. Predator instincts. When your animal origin form, add a 1d4 bonus to your attack rolls. When you reach 5th level, the bonus increases to 1d8. Nice.
Okay.
I feel like I would take that away, though, from if they were attacking some sort of, like, evil plant. Like most of the time that would be fine. But omnivore, your con goes up by 1. Survival instincts. When you wild shape into your animal origin form, you gain 1d4 temporary hit points. When you reach 5th level, that goes up to 1d8. Okay.
Okay.
I can see that. And then herbivore, your dex increases by 1. Prey instincts. When in your animal origin form, you can add a 1d4 bonus to stealth and perception skill checks. When you reach 5th level, it increases to 1d8. I like that. I actually like that mechanic a lot.
Yeah, like you're getting better at hiding from people. Ew, no millipedes. Get out of here.
Oh,
Gross.
I guess that's... It just occurred to me, that's why you can turn invisible as a weredeer.
Oh!
It's like camouflage.
Cool.
I can't believe we've been doing that for over a year and we both just realized that.
Oh my god. Yeah. Huh. Okay, I like the idea
Why
of...
would they be invisible? Yeah.
I like the idea of getting cursed by humans. But I feel like this works as a joke for sure. Like, I love the idea of humans just running through the woods biting things and then disappearing. And now you're cursed.
Mad Wizard Ludwig had some weird predilections, and he left behind him an entire string of were creatures that we fight to this day.
Oops.
This is so horrifying.
I'm a little weirded out that like your sub race is called the Hunger, but like only the carnivore one I think makes sense as hunger. The other ones are like, I need to live.
Yeah. No, I think it should have been called like drive or instinct.
Ooh. Yes, I love that. Could have gone.
But it's right. I can see this as a weird NPC generator.
Yes, I just got some ideas. Yep. Yep. My players would probably not even notice, even if I had them transform right on the spot. Like, that's normal. Yep. Everything's normal here.
You're like, is it though?
Oh, I like that. Is it though?
I picture you most of the time in dealing with your party with like your eyes just barely peeking over the screen like the neighbor from Home Improvement. Just being like, is it though?
I hung out with Goblin Slayer's player on Valentine's Day. Not as like a date, but it just happened to be Valentine's Day. And we were in the car. We were driving so he could get a rebreather because he's painting. He just like made a setup so that he can spray paint his minis with like an airbrush, and he had to go buy a rebreather at Home Depot. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And when we were in the car, he started bitching again because last session Grimjack wasn't there. And Grimjack is an Oath of the Librarian's paladin, so his channel divinity feature is, all my players call it, he just looks on Wikipedia for things. Like, that's his thing. He can get into his library from far away as long as no one else physically is open, has the book that he's trying to look in open. And I didn't realize this. Like, we've been playing for 5.5 years. Whenever he says I want to channel divinity all the time, so I just sort of tune it out until he's got a roll. But I didn't it didn't occur to me that he's been doing it in combat for 5.5 years. Like, we'll be fighting something and all of a sudden he'll be like, I'm going to consult the tomes. And they'll be like, why are you not hitting the thing? Why? And so we're in the car and Jack DT is like, why does he open Wikipedia when he's getting punched in the face? That's not a logical thing. There's something punching you. Why are you on Wikipedia? And I think it's the funniest thing. Like, it hasn't even occurred to me that it's weird because everything he does is weird.
I mean, I don't have good perspective on this playing librarian most of the time. But, oh, I just made a new character yesterday, by the way. I cannot wait to play. But yes, your players do such wildly insane things that one of them looking up relevant information. I think the fact that they're looking up something relevant is actually the most surprising part.
Oh, it's perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Trying to be helpful is a weird thing for my table.
It really is. That's the surprising part.
Whew. Oh. Yo, Awaz, what is your idea? Tell us the idea. Oh, I see you sent me something. Is this the idea? Oh God. Oh God. For some reason, when Squirrel Girl debuted, it wasn't like Harley Quinn had come out because Harley Quinn debuted with the Batman TV show first, but like they were really into Harley Quinn looking girls, so she is terrifying.
Yeah.
Why? 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 This is her Marvel Rivals look in this particular image. Oh, and I forgot to mention her companion is Tippy Toe. Um, that's the squirrel that hangs out with her. But I don't know if that's like Tippy Toe 1, 2, or 3 because they keep dying. That's also the joke.
See,
Like,
yeah. I mean, anybody, do you remember the squirrel that used to hang out on the main quad?
no. How did I miss that?
There was, I mean, there were a million squirrels, but this squirrel was basically the Clooney the Scourge of the squirrels on campus. It had a stub of a tail, one ear was missing. I swear to God, it had a scar over one eye, and just like missing tufts of fur. This was the most terrifying, battle-hardened looking squirrel ever, and it would always hang out in the trees closest to the main walkways and just stare at you like, what, you gonna start something? This thing, it would not run from anything. The other squirrels would not stay in the same tree with it. It was absolutely horrifying.
I, I'm trying to think of. I don't remember the hall names, which is bad because, like, obviously I was in all of them. Oh my God, one of
They
the.
changed them all anyway.
Oh, it's true. Ugh. One of the international students was terrified of a squirrel, and I do remember them coming out of their dorm, and there was a squirrel. It had a full tail, so I don't think it was the same squirrel, but this one squirrel would wait for them specifically to come out and would jump at them every time, and I was like, "What did you do to piss this squirrel off?" I don't know. It just waits for me. I distinctly remember having to like distract a squirrel so they could leave their dorm for a couple days.
Oh my God. That's
I
amazing.
What did you do? How does it like what? I know crows can remember faces. I guess squirrels can too.
Yeah. I
What a
need to tame a
fist.
flock of crows.
Ah,
That's
I
like
want to.
that's my next house project.
Aww. I want an army of crows. I just want
Yeah.
friends. So many friends. Wait, Fist, do you... No, well, I don't know. I don't think you've chosen your race. We just know it's not mushroom folk. That's all we know. It's not mushroom folk. But we do in fact, have one more race to go over today. And that is the Salamarians. Oh, let me see if I can pop this up. It is not a link, and I don't know. I think it was the. I think I wrote this in the YouTube description. I think that the Salamarian was the uh, Archvillain Games monthly race for last month. So I don't think you can get it anymore because they're hosting all their stuff on Google Drive for their Patreon. And I think they just replace what the last month's stuff was. And I'm like, I understand you need to keep your space and what have you, but like, that's obnoxious. You didn't have to do it that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys can still get it. Ooh, you want to be a turtle? Ooh. Blueberries are good for crows. That's good to know. You have my attention. Let me see if I can pop this in. So for those of you on Twitch, I cannot send it to you, but I'm going to try to send it to the DMs when I figure out why I can't find it for no reason. Here we go. Oh, wait. Did I send it before on Google Drive because it's big? No, because I'm dumb. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll send you a copy. But our final race is Salamarian because I felt like, obviously, well, not obviously, but the last two definitely felt more like, I want to say furry races, but I don't mean like that kind of furry. They just happen to have fur. So I wanted to give like scaly kind a little shout out. So the Salamarians are like salamanders.
Yeah.
I felt bad leaving them out. That's a weird thing to say.
It is.
Everybody's on YouTube as well. Natural Armor and Can Swim is pretty good. I will say.
Yeah.
I will say. Though, like, I know a lot of people are like, swimming's useless, blah, blah, blah. You should go for flight or climb speed first. But honestly, I feel like at least my players specifically have done more swimming than climbing.
Yeah. I mean, it depends entirely on your setting.
Also true.
Like, are you in the middle of a giant continent? Swimming's probably not so useful. Are you on an island? More useful. Of course, I'm thinking about that because I've got a Nobojima run tomorrow.
Is that when you're... Oh, I was talking to Zelda today, and I was like, yo, did you hear the news? And she was like, what? What? And I was like, oh, you're not caught up on the news? I almost sent this to her instead of the DM chat. Whoops. She would have been very confused.
Yes. Yes, she would have been. Oh god, these things are so horrifying looking. Oh.
Like, Archvillain Games, clearly they were, we'll be honest, they were 100% inspired by Elden Ring, because there's a, I'm gonna make words one day. There's a, like an alternate god in their world that's a snake, and one of the royalty members was like, I'm gonna become the snake. So he let the snake eat him, and then he like subsumed it from the inside, and he had a baby who's a snake, and she's really nice. And like everybody in FromSoft games, if they're nice, they die. So you realize, you think that she's just like a regular girl in the castle, and then you're like, yo, something's off about you. And if you say the right things to her, she will eventually reveal that she's actually like a salamander person. And she's just so sweet and happy, and you can like do all these quest lines and what have you. and eventually she'll just leave the castle. It's like the only time you help a nice person in a FromSoft game and they don't outright get murdered. And she's just like, I need to go because I don't want to be here if they're going to be eating more people and like becoming them from the inside out. That's weird. Like, I don't need to be like the rest of my family, even though they've been kind of okay with me. And I'm like, they're going to crawl inside you like an alien and burst out, and you're going to be even more snaky than you were before. But this is clearly like in that same vein.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, it looks like a bad burn patient, but
So it says Magma Lords because last month's theme was magma and ice. And like not all of it was really fire or ice themed, but that was their idea, and I was like, you guys do you. If you're gonna give me free stuff, I don't care. It says Magma Lords, but like these guys are not Lords of Magma for sure. I also get a big kick out of the fact that every single thing that Archvillain Games releases has this page that's table of contents, even if it's like 1 page long. And I think it's hilarious. Like, you don't, guys, if there's just one thing for the table of content, you don't need it. But everything that they release has a table of contents.
yuck. I'm sorry, I'm reading the intro section on it.
Would you like to read to the rest of the class?
If you want me to.
Yeah.
Salamarians. They trace their ancestry to the elemental plane of fire, where a handful of mortal envoys once negotiated with salamander clans that guarded border regions near active planar rifts. These borders were dangerous but not instantly lethal, allowing occasional contact between planes. Some salamanders viewed these envoys as useful allies in conflicts with rival elemental factions and formed long-term alliances with them. Over time, interwoven bloodlines. Okay, I don't actually want details. This is a rhetorical question, but how exactly did you get interwoven bloodlines between a salamander and a person?
I will show you guys.
See some of those dog races where it's like, oh, this is a Chihuahua Husky mix, and it's like, that shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, somebody
There's
had a
no way that
bad
happened
day.
properly. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys what a salamander looks like. Okay, let me switch this camera back over for a second. That's a salamander. Also, they're large. They're not like Barry White. That's how it happened. I see what you did there.
So much no.
Sorry, continue.
Okay. Anyway, they produced descendants who carried a stable form of salamander physiology without the full elemental volatility of their ancestors. I'm gonna assume a lot of magic was involved.
Yeah.
Later generations spread to the material plane and established their own settlements in environments reminiscent of the heated caverns of their birthplace. Most Salamarian cities lie in deep volcanic chambers, warmed by steady geothermal vents. These regions provide familiar heat and reliable stone, while offering natural obstacles that restrain surface dwellers and deep-dwelling threats alike. I mean, deep volcanic chambers with steady geothermal vents is not somewhere usually frequented by mortals to begin with, but okay.
Yeah.
What do they mean by reliable stone? Do they eat it?
Does that mean it's heat resistant? Like it doesn't melt automatically? I don't know. That is a good question. Geologists,
like
weigh in.
Yeah. While Drow and Duergar can navigate these areas, the heat, narrow ledges, and unstable rock formations favor Salamarians. Okay, so they're reliable but unstable. That sounds like a codependent relationship. Whose bodies adapt readily to temperature shifts. As a result, Salamarian settlements have held their territory for centuries, acting as firm anchors within contested underground routes.
Huh.
Their society and culture. Society values order, composure, and clear responsibility. Each settlement maintains structured civic roles, defenders who monitor breaches and rival incursions, navigators who map shifting lava tubes, speakers who handle diplomacy, and scholars who track planar disturbances. Many Salamarians can detect slight changes in air pressure or temperature, a trait inherited from their elemental lineage and honed through daily life, which is useful for Salamarians fulfilling any of these roles. Their demeanor tends towards restraint. They speak directly and avoid emotional escalation, not out of coldness, but because they believe precision prevents conflict. This discipline developed from centuries of defending narrow borders where a single misstep could invite danger. When Salamarians travel beyond their cities, they often serve as envoys, researchers, or scouts who bring measured judgment to unfamiliar lands. Okay. Physical appearance. Their features reflect its elemental heritage. Their skin tones range from ember red to bronze, charcoal or obsidian, and often show pale heat striations or ember-flecked patterns. Scales gather along their limbs, shoulders, or jawline. Their digitigrade stance?
I've never seen that word before in my life.
Neither have I. Digitigrade. It's a word relating to an animal such as a cat or a dog whose weight is borne on the toes, as distinguished from plantigrade.
I've learned something
Wow.
tonight. That was, can I get a peek at the guy who's Salamarian?
Oh, man. Huh.
Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
Digitigrade stance and sharp claws provide stability on uneven stone, while their long, narrow tails help with balance in steep or shifting terrain.
Oh, what's that?
Their
A
bodies...
tail that helps with balance? Huh.
Their bodies give off a noticeable warmth at close range, and in cold air their breath escapes as a faint vapor, though this has no mechanical effect.
Oh, flavor.
When creating your character, consider these traits. Claw form. Are your claws straight and fine, curved for grip, or thickened with a heat-darkened edge? Eye structure. Do your eyes feature narrow reptilian slits, rounded pupils, or a subtle reflective sheen? I mean, doesn't everybody's eyes have a subtle reflective sheen?
I hope so. I think they mean that, like that thing that dogs and cats get when you hit them with light. I think that's what they were going for.
Heat striations. Are they sharp and bright or faint and irregular? Scale pattern. Are your scales smooth, segmented, or limited to smaller clusters? And tail shape. Is your tail long and flexible or thicker with a steady counterweight curve?
I'm just staring at the chat like the annoyed husky because I know if Fist doesn't say anything about this, I know Awaz will. Thicker with a steady. I just know it's coming.
Salamarian features. Each Salamarian shows its elemental heritage through visible traits shaped by ancient salamander bloodlines. So, some options. Your claws carry a natural glossy gradient, deep obsidian at the base and ember red at the tips, like freshly cooled stone. Ooh, you get a free permanent ombre nail job. Your tail... Your tail ends in a pronounced flare or fin-like ridge, its edges marked with streaks that resemble molten glass. That's pretty cool. The scales along your jaw or cheekbones hold a deep ember center that brightens subtly with strong emotion. A raised ridge of dark volcanic scales follows your spine or tail base, shaped like an ancestral salamander crest.
Oh, if you want to be Godzilla,
That's
yes.
gonna make that's gonna make wearing that outfit real hard.
Ooh, yes.
Lines like molten rock run beneath your skin along the arms or neck, shifting from dull orange to dark red with body heat. A thin, translucent sheen forms over certain scales, giving them a glass-like clarity that reflects light in warm hues. Small metallic plate-like scales form along your temples or collarbones, patterned like hammered brass or brushed copper. Oh, that's pretty. Or thin, ember-bright fissures branch across your skin like cold fire cracks, glowing faintly when your muscles tense. Cool.
Honestly, this is way more in depth than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. There's a whole section on their names. You like never see that except in the actual source books.
100% agree. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I like something that helps you with names. Like, I don't usually take one of the names from the suggested thing, but it helps give you a sense of the culture. Here, the names follow the steady cadence of their ancestral tongue. Their language uses warm vowels and firm consonants that carry well along through long stone corridors. Personal names are chosen for sound and clarity, while noble families also keep established surnames that record lineage or civic duty. Many Salamarians also use a locative title that identifies their city or district of origin. This practice is common in formal settings, and a full name often includes all three parts. When choosing a name, consider how each element reflects their upbringing and the traditions of their city. So they have names. They sound Greekish. Saros, Veken, Thalos, Zurich, Kelvos, Saella, Vashera, Filune, Kalara, blah blah blah. Noble surnames. Ashvact. That sounds like your job is vacuuming up ash pockets.
all the surnames sound like the names of dragons.
Yeah, it does. Velcaris, Theravos, Thalos Theravos. Have fun with that. Play a Salamarian that has a lisp. So, Viscarin, Ravakune. Locative titles of Emberdeep, of Cinderhall, of Vescarin, of Molokar, of the Red Vaults, blah blah blah, things like that. Traits. You're a humanoid. You are either medium or small. Speed is 30 feet. ASI. You get to choose.
Okay.
1 by 2 and 1 by 1. Or 3 different ones by 1. Dark vision. I would hope so. Elemental instincts. You gain proficiency in one of the following skills: perception, survival, or investigation. Resistance to fire damage. Flaming strike. The first time you take the attack action on your turn to make a weapon attack, you can cause the weapon to flare with elemental heat. The first attack you make as part of that action that hits deals extra fire damage equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
That's not
cool.
bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Forged. Not at all. Forge Touch. Starting at 3rd level, you can cast the Heat Metal spell with this trait without requiring a material component. Once you cast the spell with this trait, yeah, we both love Heat Metal. Once you cast the spell with this trait, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. You can also cast it. You can you can upcast it. Con or Wiz is your spellcasting ability for it when you cast Heat Metal. You choose it when you select the race. And you can speak, read, and write Common and Ignan.
That's not bad. Okay.
No, this is a proper race.
They spent time on this.
I like it.
I'm not trying to say that they don't normally spend their time on stuff. Wait, you already made?
No,
How did you
compared-
already make this character, Awaz? What? Who is this? Where is he from? He's definitely a wizard. Wait. Wait a
What?
minute. Hold on. Wait. Is this? I thought it was gonna give me a breakdown. Oh, he's one of the. I'm gonna make words one day. Ah, he's one of the Ravagers. I was gonna say this is definitely from the MCU because of the way that he's making the sorcerer rings. Oh my God, you can be him. You sure can. This is not bad.
Yeah, I like this one.
I'm gonna say that, like I said, Archvillain Games gave away a whole bunch of free stuff to people who had done stuff for them before they opened their, what is it called? Their Patreon. They used to have a My Mini Factory. I think they still do. But they opened their Patreon. And they're like, oh, every month we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. But if you've ever bought something from us, we're going to give you free, stuff. And this was part of it. I have looked at their items before. A lot of their items are like not really, they're not well balanced to a regular game. And like the descriptions of them are not necessarily hard to follow, but like they don't follow the conventional norms that items do in D&D. Like when you read their descriptions, you're like, this is off. Like I can still make it work, but it's off. And they're usually like really, really far over-tuned. But this race is not. Like this is, I don't want to say perfect, but like this is good. This is a good race.
Yeah, this is something that I would have no qualms about somebody being like, I want to play one of these, like, in a campaign.
I also wasn't expecting them, in like all this race stuff, they're mentioning places specifically in the Forgotten Realms, but like the adventures that they release take place in their own like campaign setting. So the fact that here they're like, yo, this is where you fit in the Forgotten Realms, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And we both learned a new word today.
I can't wait to tell the resident bard.
I mean, it also has heat metal built in.
That's true. Digitigrade. It's a great word.
Such a good. Oh my God, such a good word. I didn't realize how fast we were going to zoom through races. So you know what I think I should do?
Yeah.
And I guess let me just make sure that I saved the correct. No, where are you? Give me 1 sec, y'all. There, that's what I want. I think. I feel like I didn't make a. Ooh, I did save the PSD, which means I think since this one was so good, they actually gave us 2 races that first month. So I kind of want to look at the next one now. We got time.
Yeah.
So the next one though is pretty weird, all things considered. It is the most 40K looking thing I've ever seen in my life. You're a dead body in a test tube. So, hey, we're gonna get through 4 races today, which is crazy for us. Give me 1 sec, and I will re-upload this. Because I think this one was the free one, but I'm not 100% sure. So I want to make sure that I share it with everybody who's in here. So give me 1 sec. Give me that share link. Thank you. Boom, boom, boom. But I will double check if it's one that you have to pay for. Sorry, y'all. But you guys can get it. Because I love you. Love you all. But this is the most 40K looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
The heck?
I was like, I saw this one first, and I was like, I feel like this is going to be a wildly overtuned thing, just like the. Really? Oh, I could see that too. I could definitely see that too.
Why is there? This looks like a lich raided a Catholic church. What the hell?
Yes! Yes!
Just why? Thing's got relics and icons dangling off of every inch of it.
So funny. Oh
It's
my
just a
god.
naked lich inside cackling. This is weird.
So I saw this race first, and I was like, oh, I feel like this is gonna be something wildly overtuned, like their uh their items are. But then reading the Salamarian, I'm like, oh no, this is actually on par with like stuff. So yeah. Oh, did I send the same thing twice? Hold on, my bad. My bad. Where are you? All right. What? No, not. Stupid. Instead, it sent a link to the other chat. There we go. No, that is. I'm confused. You're right. It is. That is not what I'm copying, but it is what's being sent over. That's weird. Hold on. I'll get you another link, Awaz. My bad. I don't know what's going on. Oh no, that is the correct link. Oh, that's sick. Anyone who can paint miniatures just blows my mind. I could never.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. I want to go to. I'm going to change this music to something super easy. Just a song called The Undead. There you go. Easy peasy. Sorry, The Undead 2. It works. Oh, that's fantastic. But yes, let's take a peek at, what is your name? Necramechanica. That somebody was 100% playing 40K and was like, I got this. Don't worry, guys.
This one's all you.
Necromechanica. They? Yeah, I have watched them rise, not from graves, but from rubble. Necromechanica were not given life, they were assembled into it. Their minds flicker with fragments, their limbs drag the weight of design without consent. Some seek their creators, others flee the memory of them. I find their existence neither a miracle nor monstrosity, but a quiet defiance. They are persistence given shape. They are unfinished thoughts in decaying frames, enduring because no one told them they were allowed to stop. Okay, I'm that's cool. It's Necromunda. It's 100. Somebody was 100% playing 40K and was like, you know what, guys?
Yeah.
Necromechanica exists in a state of perpetual decay and reconstruction. They're not alive, yet they can die. Their bodies, stitched from necrotic flesh and humming machinery, fail almost as quickly as they are repaired. Necromechanica awaken in lightless ruins, tangled in corroded wires, or entombed beneath collapsed stone, and their first moments are filled with the hiss of leaking fluid, the grinding of rusted gears, and the echoes of commands in a language they no longer understand. They do not grow. They do not age. They persist until they can no longer hold themselves together. Ooh. The fall of the Mechanica. Necromechanica were the children of the Mechanica, master artificers, biomancers, and war rites. Okay, I don't know who in like the world of D&D decided that biomancy was another school of magic, but like it's just accepted when you're making homebrew that biomancy is a school that's not official, but like everybody uses the term biomancy. Like I don't know if there was like a council of homebrewers at one point, but biomancy specifically is just everywhere. Who did not seek mere augmentation. They pursued perfection beyond flesh, the fusion of necromantic energy and engineered bodies. Their leaders pushed the limits of mortality, replacing fragile bone with enchanted metal and rotting flesh with arcane circuitry. To them, the body was a flawed machine in need of improvement. Krael Cathar, the greatest of their order, took their philosophy to its extreme. To escape death, one must abandon flesh entirely. His early creations were twisted hybrids of man and machine whose vocal cords were removed to silence their inevitable screams. Their bodies functioned, but their minds shattered under the weight of the process. These were not failures to Krael and his colleagues. They were simply unfinished. The world feared the Mechanica's work, and entire nations united to rise and erase them. Cities burned, laboratories collapsed, and Krael Cathar vanished completely. Yet, their creations survived, buried beneath stone and steel, unfinished, dreaming, and waiting until the day they would awaken into a new world. Oh my, okay, there's so much. Oh, there's you blame the Sun Elves. This is okay. I haven't played. It's not God tier. It's Bard Sung. The second Bard Sung like base game. The storyline is basically that there were a bunch of elves who knew the world was about to end, and one of their kind was like, "Yo, I know how we can live," and the rest of his people were like, "How can we do it, dude? It's gonna be great, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he obliterated all of their bodies and put them in really shitty mechanical, like, automaton frames. And that's what I feel like happened here. Like, we gonna die, but I could put you in that test tube if you want. That's fine. Right? Whatever. You can't speak anyway. I ripped out your vocal cords. Awakening and purpose. A Necramechanica does not grow or reproduce. They reactivate by accident, power surging through their broken frames as forgotten spells flicker to life, or they're found and repaired by scavengers or scholars seeking lost knowledge. The newly awakened rarely understand what they are. Many emerge with fragmented memories and skills of past lives that feel distant and unreal. Some search for the remains of Mechanica, hoping to find records of their origins. Others reject their past, trying to create new identities among mortals who fear and distrust them. Flesh and machine. Every Necromechanica is built for a purpose. A warrior may awaken with reinforced plating and integrated weaponry. A scout may find its limbs built for speed and its joints enhanced with silent movement. A scholar may reactivate with memory cores storing lost knowledge. Ooh, you have flash drives! These modifications define their function, but they also decay over time. Their bodies are a mix of decayed flesh, reinforced bone, and enchanted steel. Gears replace joints and arcane filaments bind muscles to metal. Their bodies require constant upkeep by scavenging new components from ruins, other Necromechanica, or unwilling donors. Some attempt to preserve what remains of their original forms. Others strip away their flesh entirely, replacing themselves piece by piece until nothing organic remains. So you're kind of like a ship of Theseus, but as a person? Okay. Well, I guess we use the term person loosely, but okay. Outcasts and scavengers. Necromechanica are not welcomed among most mortals who do not see them as people. I'm a bad person. That's exactly what I said. They're things, remnants of a lost civilization that should have stayed buried. They're hunted down, feared as abominations, or torn apart to study what keeps them moving. Those who try to live among the living are forced into the fringes, taking roles as mercenaries, assassins, or recluses who trade their skills for a modicum of safety. Even the undead reject them. Liches see them as failures, trapped between life and death without true control over either. Vampires call them mockeries of eternal life, bodies sustained through machinery rather than will. Only other Necromechanica can be trusted. But even that trust is fragile, as many view their own kind as nothing more than potential spare parts. Most wander as scavengers for parts to keep themselves functional. Others embrace warfare, selling themselves as living weapons. A few surrender to the reality of their existence. Their bodies will fail, and their minds will decay. They do not fight it. instead watching themselves unravel piece by piece until nothing remains. There is no single path for the Necramechanica. There is only survival for as long as they can hold themselves together. Okay, this lore goes hard. Goes so hard. And okay, reading that last section, my players, like if they met a Necromechanica, that would be their baby. Like nobody would ever touch them again. They'd be like, no, you're gonna live a wonderful life. No one will ever bother you again.
You'll be kept in gears for as long as you want them.
Yeah, we will provide. Do not worry. Do not worry. You never have to worry another day in your life. Unlife. Physical appearance. Necromechanica are a haunting fusion of withered flesh and mechanical ingenuity. Each is a living representation of both survival and self-expression, with every Necromechanica forging a body uniquely their own. Their decayed, withered skin stretches tightly over skeletal frames, often reinforced or replaced by mechanical limbs and plates. The remnants of their organic bodies are pale and desiccated, barely clinging to life through the constant integration of machinery. Their mechanical augmentations vary wildly. While some are masterworks of precision with polished brass joints and smoothly turning gears that hum quietly with each movement, others are crude, built from rusted metal, clunky pistons, and exposed wiring that sparks or hisses as they walk. Often, a Necromechanica's eyes are replaced with glowing, alchemy-powered orbs. DM Shin, where are you? Casting an eerie light from within their hollowed sockets. This also is definitely like Cardna stuff, for sure. This is what's going to come out of the sea and pull us down. Often casting an eerie light from within their hollowed sockets. These parts serve as both tools for survival and declarations of individuality. When envisioning your Necromechanica character, consider the following aspects: machine and organic. What parts of your body are mechanical? How much of your original flesh remains? Energy source. What powers your mechanical body? Arcane energy, alchemical fluids, or perhaps something more mysterious? Unique features. Consider how you've customized your body. Have you added unique design features to your machine parts? The energy source portion, I love that. This is that. Yes. Why are you here? Like, what woke you up? And did it supercharge you? Are you going to be here a while? Necromechanica aesthetics. Necromechanica embrace their mechanical nature and take great care in the design and customization of their bodies. Some modify their frames with sleek, functional designs, while others opt for more ornate aesthetics, etching intricate symbols or embedding gemstones in their mechanical parts. Roll a d10 or choose from the table below. Your limbs are made of a sleek, polished chrome that reflects light like a mirror. Arcane runes glow along the seams of your mechanical joints, pulsing with power. Your torso is covered in intricate engravings resembling the gears and cogs of a clock. Oh, that's cool. A dark, oily substance perpetually leaks from some of your mechanical parts, giving them an oily sheen. Ew. Oh! What if speaking of Hellboy, the Nazi captain dude that, like, he has gears and he doesn't bleed, like sand falls out? That could be inside of you too. Parts of your frame are adorned with small gemstones catching light as you move. Your limbs are large and bulky, built for strength with exposed pistons and gears. Your metal parts are partially transparent, revealing a tangled web of arcane circuits and mechanical veins beneath. Your body is covered in metallic plates that have a burnished bronze appearance. Your mechanical parts emit a faint hum, the sound of unseen machinery constantly whirring. Your metal frame is corroded and scarred, with deep gouges and pitted surfaces, as though it has survived centuries of battle. Kruger, yes. That's, send it to me. Necromechanica names. They place great value on individuality, seeing their names as an expression of their unique identities rather than a reflection of their mechanical origin. Many adopt names that symbolize rebirth, creativity, and the reclaiming of life from death, choosing powerful and evocative titles that speak to their personal journey. Necromechanica choose their own singular names, preferring to eschew the practice of taking family surnames. Well, like, I don't think they know.
Yeah.
Like they don't know who their family is.
They don't have a family.
Yeah. Male names: Carlith, Oris, Serenex, Threnos, Valrin, Zarian. Female names: Horatia, Ithis, Lyris, Nixa, Thalassar, Zyria. It seems like there's a little Greek influence here too. Neutral names: Astraeus, Rethys, Solivor, Talanus, Vindara, Vossar. You know it's not here in neutral names? Jamiroquai. Necramechanica, I keep saying Necro because it's dead, but Necramechanica character has the following traits. Your con increases by 2. That makes sense. You're a humanoid. You're also considered a construct for any prerequisite or effect that requires you to be a construct. Oh, good. I'm gonna... does that mean you can't be healed?
Humanoid's a weird choice for this.
Yeah. Just like the shape is humanoid, but not really. Ooh.
I'd have thought like abomination or something.
You're medium or small. You have a natural lifespan of up to, is it really natural? But up to 500 years. Regular maintenance of the mechanical body is necessary to ensure longevity, but the organic parts still age over time, making them susceptible to eventual decay. Makes sense. Your walking speed is 30 feet. Living construct. You have advantage on saving throws against poison, and you have resistance to poison damage. You're immune to disease. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. Additionally, instead of sleeping, you must spend 4 hours in an inactive, motionless state, after which you finish a long rest. In this state, you appear inert, but it doesn't render you unconscious, and you can see and hear as normal. Ooh. I was like, maybe the Bard Song path is the true path. They came from elves because they're still trancing, but they're wide awake. I don't like that. That's creepy. I mean, their whole thing is creepy. But mechanical enhancement. Choose one of the following when you select this race. Enhanced durability. Your hit point maximum increases by 1. Whenever you gain a level, you get another point. Okay. Augmented strength. You have a +2 bonus to strength checks and strength saving throws. Improved mobility. Your walking speed increases by 5 feet, and you have a +1 bonus to dex checks. Sensory expansion. You have dark vision. These guys don't have dark vision with their glowing eyes? You have dark vision out to a range of 60 feet and can see in magical darkness out to 10 feet as if it were dim light. Okay, that's pretty cool. But I can't believe they don't just come with dark vision. You can speak, read, and write Common and one other language you and your GM agree is appropriate for your character. That's a nice way to put it. Ooh, but then you have 2 sub-races. Ooh. Dreadnought, relics of war and destruction. Dreadnoughts are built for endurance and combat. Their decayed flesh is reinforced with thick plating, and their bodies are designed to withstand tremendous punishment. They're not merely warriors. They're weapons with a singular destructive purpose. Strength increases by 1. Unyielding frame. You have natural armor. When not wearing armor, your AC is 13 plus your dex mod. Okay. See, this one makes sense. It's also lower, though. The pointy hats, if you took the ability of natural armor, you're not allowed to wear armor. Your armor just stays at 17 all the time. And, like, I've never seen that before. I've always seen, like, you start here, but you can wear armor. Pointy hat was like, no, 17, that's it. That's all you're getting. And adaptive repair. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus and your con mod. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your con mod and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Okay. Relentless form. When you're reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. Oh, so the same thing that zombies have. Honestly, those 2 powers coming in and you like not having to level up to one of them seem quite powerful.
Yeah.
And then Shadow Sworn. You're whispering ghosts of steel and bone, designed for secrecy, precision, and manipulation. Your presence unsettles the living, and your bodies seem to vanish into the darkness, making them the ultimate infiltrators and assassins. Your dex increases by 1. You gain proficiency in stealth. Shadow Veil. When you're in dim light or darkness, you can use a bonus action to become invisible until you attack, cast a spell, or move into bright light. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was definitely that you would turn invisible in darkness. Like I was like, that has to be a thing that they can do. And then Predator's Precision. Once on your turn, when you hit with an attack against a creature that's surprised or hasn't yet acted during the first round of combat, the target takes extra necrotic damage equal to your dex mod and your proficiency bonus, and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn. But you do that every turn? That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, the lore, they had me in the first half. Really, they did. The lore. But I think this race, for sure, is more on the overtuned side. This is closer to their
There's a lot
items.
here.
Like, you could take it. Maybe if some of these abilities you got, like, as your like you're taking the race, you're starting your character, and then the level 5 bonus, like you get an extra thing. A lot of races do that. But having everything from day 1 seems very, very strong.
Yeah.
I just started at the bottom. Okay. Oh, you
It
had me in the
does.
first half, man. You sold me. There's so much there's so much flavor here. Like, oh, vampires don't like them. Like, there's beef between all the undead. But then you made them so strong. I
I
also
think
No, you go ahead.
Yeah.
I talked a lot.
I think the biggest problem here is that yes, there's a lot of lore, and this leads to there should be a mechanic for you falling apart. Like there needs to be the entire point of these things is that they're constantly staving off decay. Like, do you remember that race that we had that was the group, it was some kind of weird badger or something, wasn't it? That had like dreams that they had to follow.
Oh, the uh um oh, they're
Those things.
chromelians.
Chromelians. Yeah. Like it had a mechanic for if they spent too long not following the dream,
Mm,
like bad things happen to them.
mm, 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 mm.
You need something like that here. Like for something whose entire flavor is you got to keep patching yourself up or you're just going to die. There needs to be a way to actually track and motivate that, like in the race. Like, yes, give them these things that are that strong, but counter that with something that's like, every X days you have to find or jury rig a new part. And if you're jury rigging it, it has to, like, it will have this negative effect on, your dexterity or strength or something. Like, there's got to be something for the replacement.
100% agree. 100% agree. It's crazy that you're right. There's so much lore, and every part of it is I'm falling apart. I can last 500 years, but I'm falling apart right now. And to
Mhm.
not have I'm falling apart as something you have to deal with when you have all these bonuses too. Like, they're all, in addition to you falling apart, like you should probably be losing your bonuses the longer you go without repairing yourself.
Yep.
Actually, I'm thinking about whether or not to put this in the repository. It's too strong. But if like, you'd have to limit it as maybe you get another one of your abilities every time you repair yourself after you've awakened to the awakened in the current age. All I can think of is in the Glory Hammer music videos, the robot prince of Octortool, when he goes to touch like a good aligned person, there's a spark that goes from his finger to whoever the good aligned person is. And when he gets defeated and like he goes into stasis and he gets all broken up into parts, the main character in Glory Hammer finds his head and reaches his finger out, and it's the spark shoots from his finger back into the head of the robot prince of Octortool, and he like awakens and rebuilds himself. So like, I'm thinking that's how this character starts. Like, the rest of the group is on their first mission and they just happen, like, there's a cave in or something, they fall into a room and they accidentally awaken him, and like he has nothing because he's all beat up and there's like no powers, But like as he starts, maybe you find like other bits and pieces and bobs and what have you, where the rest of the group is like also came down in this cave in. Maybe he starts reattaching parts, and that's when his abilities start to come in. But he's got to like make sure that he keeps getting new pieces because they will start falling off. Yeah, you definitely have to spend some time with your GM and be like, yo, we need to work on how I'm gonna fall apart.
Yeah. I would make a table that they have to roll on that has different effects, like, you know, each number is associated to a piece that breaks on you. And you like have to, then there's like two options, either like replace the actual part and you have to go buy it or scavenge it or whatever, and that restores your ability, or you MacGyver something, and if you MacGyver something, it doesn't get you back to full power, but it gives you something less bad than where you are with it broken, and you have to roll on that every X days.
When you said table, immediately I was like, yo, where's DM Shin? And then I was like, wait, where's Clubs? Clubs loves tables even more than DM Shin. And then I was like, no, wait. Where is DM Bacon? Because he will make a table that does all the things for you once you click a thing.
We need the full.
We
full
need to
power of
assemble
DM
a round
Roundtable.
table. And okay, Flavor, Speedy, they're talking about vampires, bro. Like, where are you?
Yeah.
Vampires were
Yep.
mentioned. Where are you at? Oh my, that's yes.
And the fact that these things are like outcasts living on the edge that seriously need some love is screaming Dungeon Mommy.
You're right. Yes, we need to assemble the entire crew. Yes. Yo, that should be that should be an episode. Like maybe the 2-year anniversary episode is how do we improve the Necramechanica? And everyone comes in and does. Everyone comes in like it's Starship Troopers. I'm doing my part.
This is gonna be like we mostly like this. There's one tweak we want to make, so we are bringing in every single DM, like minutely change this class.
Based on this conversation, I am going to put this in the repository, but I am going to put this on like the same tier as the mentor, where like a beginner cannot play this class. This is not for. I mean, if you want someone to be the Mary Sue or the Gary Stu of the group, sure, a beginner could do this. They're not going to be able to keep up with all their abilities anyway because there's so many of them. But like, you need to sit with your GM really and have a chat and be like, hey, how are we gonna make this work? Because you're there's some pieces missing. It's fun, but there's some pieces missing to really get the most out of it. This is also, at least as far as what I had gone through before seeing the Salamarian, which honestly, like no notes. The Salamarian, I think, looks almost official.
Mm-hmm.
This is
definitely
more what I'm used to seeing from Archvillain games, where there's just like a whole bunch of like there's too many things for each item. Like it'll be like a sword that has 7 abilities. You'd be like, why?
It's too strong.
You're a Megazord that's slowly running out of power. I really want to play 40k Mechanicus now because you fight the Necromunda in there, and I'm like, I need ideas. I need ideas. Oh man, these are cool. Oh, what I was gonna say before is these guys specifically would be kind of hard for me to fit into my world lore right now. But then the more we talked about it, the more I was like, oh, no, they won't be, because the Saruk are liches now. Like, they're undead kings. That's their whole shtick. They were like, yo, we need things to stay here that won't get, like, taken over by psychic damage and what have you. And, like, we just want to keep the Faerun out of Faerun. So
Mm-hmm.
these would actually be perfect. You know, it would be absolutely wonderful if a nice DM made their players a multi-level dungeon and they'd actually go down past the first floor. You know, that would be fantastic. Maybe there's a Necramechanica in there. Please explore my dungeon.
I can't imagine what you're talking about.
Please. But also, one of the great things, like, even the retired adventurer talks about this all the time, where he's like, hey, if you make a thing and your players don't go there, don't throw that thing out. Just use that thing again later. And he's right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a dungeon from not more a literal dungeon than the way that like clubs would use dungeon, where literally everything is a dungeon. It's just the way that you navigate it and what have you makes it a dungeon. But I still have like a map that I built in year 1 of my campaign that I keep, and I thought my players were going to end up going there for the one shot that the side story that we did for DM Bacon's character. I was like, oh, are you going to go there? And I had him roll a die for where they were going to go. And I was like, oh, no, you missed it. It's still set up. Like, I printed out the map and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's year 1. Eventually it's going to get reused again. Okay, the fact that you made the Delicious in Dungeon reference and Fist did not is crazy. Specifically about the dwarf.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Honestly, what you said as well, yes, they would make a Necramechanica, 100%. That particular team, yeah. I also feel like you have to add, well, no, Forge is pretty, like, he don't care about the moral consequences of what he's building. So, I was gonna say you should put Hank Pym in there, but no, Forge also does not care about the moral consequences of his actions. So you're fine. I think I'm not. I wanna. The idea now that I was gonna say, I think I'll put all these guys in the repository, and then I was like, I don't want players to be werehumans. However, I do want to show my players. I want to introduce them to some weirdo that like runs through the forest and bites all the animals. I want to introduce that to them. You don't need, just be a druid. And like, I was thinking, I guess if you were that race plus druid, it would make sense. But your extra, you just would wild shape into other stuff. You would never maintain. You would like never take your regular form. You just use your other wild shapes. Like, that would be your last resort. But the other ones aren't so bad. They just need a little. Sorry, no. Salamarian needs nothing. That thing is perfect the way it is. If you want to be a Salamarian, let's go. I'm here for you. Let's go. Necramechanica, though, definitely a. I don't want to. I think there is a note next to Mentor in the repository where I'm like, this is not for beginners. I feel like I don't want to say, like, I don't want to leave a note in there that says something like, this is for veteran players only, because that seems mean. But I gotta figure out a better term to give away that kind of sentiment.
Mhm.
Let me find out what I wrote next to the mentor. Or did I not write it at all, which is bad. It should be. I didn't put the note in there. Oh, I don't like that. No, let's fix that. Let's fix that right now. Too complicated for beginners? That also seems like a challenge. I don't like that wording either. Not suitable for beginners?
Not for first timers.
Ah, there we go. That works. I like that. I like that. That doesn't seem mean at all. That's what I will do. Not for you, dumb. That's what I would tell my players. Not for you, dum-dum. Okay, so you guys know the story of how when my players got into their first arc-ending battle, Grimjack got knocked out. Not dead, just knocked out. And he angrily was like, I'm going to make my... You got to stop. We're still in combat. And he turns to me and he starts yelling at me about how I need to stop right now and help him make his next character. My players brought that up because he went down in the arc-ending battle again. He didn't die. He was close. He didn't die, though. And they were like, well, it's a good thing he made that character. And I was like, guys, I want you to know. So we did, in fact, build his second character. It wasn't during the session. It ended up being like weeks later. He was like, you got to help me build my character because I'm going to die. And I was like, okay. So we built this character. He had the character sheet ready. And I told the other players at the table, I was like, because they were like, oh, get his other player character ready. Because she was in the campaign on D&D Beyond, but deactivated. And I was like, he deleted her. So, no. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, I said to him, at one point I was like, you can have as many deactivated characters in a campaign on D&D Beyond as you want. Like, it doesn't affect anything. It's just that they're there and can jump in. Like, you don't have to set it up again. That's what it's there for. And he was like, okay. So I could just get rid of her. And I was like, I just said you literally don't have to touch her. She's fine exactly where she is. Like, she's not bothering anybody. And instead of just being like, I want to remove her from the campaign, he just straight up deleted the character. And I was like, okay, that's on you. Like, I'm not gonna feel bad that you did that. That you spent time and effort to build that character and then just straight up deleted it instead of hitting remove from campaign.
Why? That's so dumb.
Yeah, I was like, there was no problem to fix there, but you made one for later. But speaking of, okay. I was gonna say, speaking of wording, I'm thinking of making a video just breaking down like what the questionnaires are for the Patreon. If you purchase, if you want us to run a game for you, I think I'll make a video showing off what those are, and then that way everyone can give comments and be like, oh, I think you should maybe change this, or that's good enough. And also, I feel like hiding it behind the, like, not hiding it, but moving it behind the paywall makes people feel like I'm hiding something from them. But it's just, you don't need that information unless you're paying us.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you pay for it, then you'll know. So
Also true. Also very true. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Actually, one of my really old net friends was like, I don't know what D&D is. Can you teach me? Like, right as the stream started, and I was like, But yes, enjoy your game. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I'm so scared.
No, don't be scared.
Tell you stories from it next week.
Yeah, we're gonna get so many tales from the table.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you for coming.
Bye. Night. Bye.
Thank you, AWAS. I'm going to do the same thing on the other one while I set up the poll, because it is now the end of the stream. What did you? I'm going to do them in the same order that AWAS does them. Fist, you can ignore all of this because you already know what all these links are, but I feel bad that I never put the links on YouTube. and I totally should be. I'm just lazy. So these are all our regular links where you can support or you can do the things. Oh, well, you know, we always have the disembodied voice. So while I pop these out, I'm going to play for you the disembodied voice of DM Lacara. Remember,
Hit the buttons, do the
Please.
thing. If you have money, make the buttons give him money. If you don't have money, just hit the buttons that subscribe, and that also gets him money. So you get to feel good either way.
it's true. Oh, they are all in the descriptions on YouTube. That they're there, but I never put them in the chat. I don't know. I just never do it. I definitely should, but I don't. But if you've never been to a DM Roundtable before, what happens at the end of the session is that we run a poll. Normally it would be for next week's topic, but we already have next week's topic. It is backgrounds feats, because we're technically a week ahead on the polls right now, which is fantastic. It really helps me out doing stuff and what have you. Like, fantastic. Thank you. Because we took a break for a week. But poll comes out. It's active for 24 hours from when the stream ends. If you're on Twitch, I will put an actual poll in the chat for 10 minutes. And then at the end of the 10 minutes, we sign out. But that doesn't mean the poll is totally ended. It means that you have 24 hours from when the stream ends. So you can hit us up on the Discord, which is super easy. Just come join the Discord. Come chat with us. We're fun people. Come join us. Come chat with us. It's fun because we only meet once a week for DM Roundtable, so you can talk to us about TTRPGs all week long. So hit us up. Tell us what your vote is. But 2 weeks from now's topic, the choices are adventures, articles, creatures, items, and maps. If you're the only one that I think that is weird or like might not be self-explanatory is articles, and that's legitimately we're just gonna have some articles about D&D or TTRPGs in general. Might be a blog entry, might be like a The Gamer article, which a lot of them are very silly. But we'll go over them and have a chat about them. The rest of them are pretty self-explanatory. We'll go over an adventure for adventures. We'll look at a bunch of creatures. Usually there's a theme for them. We'll look at some magic items, or we'll check out some maps. And generally speaking, when we look at maps, we're not just like looking at topography, where we usually build an encounter or something around them. Bloop. So the poll is now live on both of them. Tell us what you want to vote for. Fist, you can put your vote in the chat. And I will add that to the list. I'm a little Okay, hear me out, y'all. I'm a little bit disappointed, sort of kind of in myself, and just Archvillain games right now. I'm a little bit disappointed because Salamarian, mwah, perfect. Like, that looks like a legitimate race. And then I came over to Necramechanica and I was like, yo, the lore here, fantastic. But mechanics-wise, it's so unbelievably strong. So unbelievably strong. And I'm like, that's what I'm used to seeing from Archvillain games. Like, really, really overtuned things. That's not to say there isn't a place for overtuned stuff. But if everything else is regular tuned, overtuned is really, 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 really noticeable. I did not notice that this song sounded like a fart until just now. Like it just hit that low note. Ooh, that's a good question. Let me check and see where we're at. These are all, so there's a list of possible topics that we've got, and the way that I've been doing this, I don't know why I said we generally. It's me. I'm watching the polls. The way that I generally do it is I won't have an option on there that has been done in the last 3 streams, just to make it simpler for me to go down the list. So I try to do whatever is has the least amount of episodes gets put as one of the 5 options. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll tell you which one we haven't done in the longest time. Creatures. Okay, 1 vote for creatures. Creatures. I honestly expected us to... When I started DM Roundtable, I thought that we were going to do creatures all the time. I don't know why. When we started, I was like, you know what? I feel like it's just gonna be creatures all the time. It's just gonna be creatures all the time. And it's not. We have a lot of topics to talk about, which is great. I love that for us. Okay, live. I will tell you. Adventures. The last Adventures was in November. Okay, let me put this in here. Adventures, November. Oh, I can't. Hold on. Yeah, I know how to make this happen. Then articles. The last articles was in October. Creatures was in November. Items was in December. And maps. Oh, so they're all almost around the same area. The last maps was in September. So maps was is the longest span since we've done something. Oh, and if you weren't aware, the polls for this month ended. So the thank you stream poll and the Okamigakure Plays games poll. Okamigakure Plays Kinfire Delve 1, which is something I've wanted to film for a long time. I think like as far as like card games go, I think that one's a good one to film, and I do want to do a tutorial on how to play it. So I think that's a good, like, that month there'll probably be the tutorial video and then us actually playing. And then the winner of the thank you stream was Magic the Gathering and Chill. So I don't know if Dex is going to be here when I'm doing that stream, because he's supposed to show up that Friday. But if he is, we'll probably play some matches and stream those. If he's not, we're gonna build some decks. And I mean, we're gonna not necessarily build, but we're gonna edit some of my decks. Yeah. I have so many new cards. Dex actually gave me all of his old cards in his collection, so I have so many more cards. And that means I have to go through all of my own commander decks again to make sure that they're all the best they can possibly be right now. Which I'm not really looking forward to, but hey, you do what you can. But yeah, I think Animal Folk from Pointy Hat are going to make it into the repository. let me switch this window back over real quick as I edit it. So, if you're looking at the repository right now, I'm going to keep the subscribe up because this is related. If you become a YouTube member or a Twitch sub or a patron on Patreon at the member of the pack level or above, you get access to the repository, which is where I keep all the homebrew stuff that I go through. There's backgrounds, there's classes, there's feats, there's races, which I'm about to add to right now. There's subclasses, and there's spells in here. A lot of the stuff that we go over in DM Roundtable ends up here, if we think it's viable. So it's a good place to go. And I want to make words one day. There's lots of stuff that I add not during DM Roundtable. You don't know how to play MTG? Okay, I could potentially also teach you how to play Commander. So there's like 20 different game modes for Magic the Gathering, but I only play one game mode. I only play Commander. I don't know what that says about me, but Commander is the game type that is... It's the only one that's intended to be played with a pod, so 4 or more people. Like, it's the only one that's intended to be played multiplayer. Like, it's supposed to be a fun time. Whether people build decks that are fun, that's on them, but it's supposed to be the game type that is the most fun to play with a group. And that is why I choose to play that one at all. Like, I don't want to learn any other ones. I don't want to... Commander also has the lowest amount of cards that are not allowed to be played in Commander of all the modes. So, like, you can play cards from, like, 20 years ago, and it's totally fine within your deck. I could potentially teach you how to play Commander. It's not like the rules are all that different between all the game modes. So if you know how to play one game mode, you know how to play the game. But there are specific rules for Commander. I'm gonna start with T, I guess. The animal folk. Bloop. You're good. Not you. Oh, I opened up too many tabs, didn't I? Well, okay. Oh, the other ones don't have links, that's why. So they're gonna go in... No, downloaded. I don't have physical copies of them. Ooh. So, DM Bacon tried to teach me for like 10 years how to play Magic the Gathering, and I couldn't get it because I like couldn't get rid of the things that I had thought previously and the rules that I knew from Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon to like understand Magic. And then once I took like enough break from the rest of them where I forgot all their rules, I suddenly was like instantly able to learn Magic the Gathering. I was like, oh, I just had to empty my cup. Because there's things in Magic that, like, if you've played other card games, make no sense. But if you don't have that knowledge from other card games, Magic will just, like, flow into you. Like Magic. Salamarians. And LMN. So let's go over here. Necramechanica. What did we write? We wrote not for first timers. Okay, cool. I like that. I am not going to put did I put a dash? No, okay, good. Okay. I'm not gonna put Necramechanica. I'm not gonna put where they are because they're their own things, so I don't really have to worry about it. All of these are like what thing they're part of. But yeah. So we got 3 new races in here. That's not bad. 3 new things? That's not bad at all for an episode of DM Roundtable. Next week, the topic is backgrounds feats. I will be getting that video ready soon. I think my original plan was to unbox and open all of the... I have everything for Magpie Games' Avatar Legends TTRPG, which is a 2d6 game. It's built on Powered by the Apocalypse, or rather, it is Powered by the Apocalypse. 2d6 system game. I have every book and everything they've ever released, and I'm like, I want to learn to do Powered by the Apocalypse games. I want to figure out how to run them. So I want to do an unboxing of all that stuff. And I was going to do that for this week and then edit it for Sunday, but I think I might actually instead do a video with all the info that's in the questionnaires if you want us to run a one-shot for you or a 0.5 session or a character creation bootcamp. I think I'm going to do a video on that because it makes sense. I think that's what I'll do for the Sunday video. I do have some MTG shorts coming out this week. I got to finish the last one. I already have the video filmed. I just have to add the captions and what have you. But that's it for tonight for DM Roundtable. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you next week for DM Roundtable on Monday, and then next Friday will be the thank you stream. So yeah. I'm so happy that everyone came and hung out and we had fun and we got to add some new stuff and talk about lore. That was cool. Yeah. Even though I'm leaving, if you come join the Discord, you can come talk to us like right now. I say us, not DM Lacara, but moi. You can come talk to moi in the Discord like immediately following this stream. That's the beauty of it, y'all. So for those of you on Twitch, I want to say bye everybody. We'll see you next week. And then for all of those for all of those on YouTube, bye everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye Twitch. Bye. YouTube, come on. You can do this. I believe in you, Nightbot. You got this, bud. Come on. Come on, Nightbot. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. I don't know why Nightbot is so slow on YouTube. It's crazy. I will see you all next week. I mean, there's going to be videos up on the YouTube channel the whole rest of the week. But